Dito sa 2024 law, na ipasok yan na sabi pwedeng gamitin yung mga unprogrammed appropriations, itong pera na ibinigay sa GOCs na hindi mo nagamit ay pwede mong kunin ang DOF at gamitin sa ibang programa.
As of October 2024, PhilHealth holds a surplus of 150 billion pesos and a total reserve of 280 billion pesos, complemented by an investment fund nearing 490 billion as of November 2024. Members of Congress, esteemed colleagues, fellow public servants, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to address this inquiry and present the state of PhilHealth, a vital institution tasked with securing the health of every Filipino. As the leader of PhilHealth, I must acknowledge the challenges that persistently affected us as well as the progress we have made. Let me begin with a clear and candid statement. Despite areas that need significant work, PhilHealth is still a very healthy corporation at the moment. As of October 2024, PhilHealth holds a surplus of 150 billion pesos and a total reserve of 280 billion pesos, complemented by an investment fund nearing 490 billion as of November 2024. These figures clearly demonstrate that PhilHealth is financially robust, well-positioned to sustain operations, and fully capable of addressing the healthcare needs of our 115 million members.
PhilHealth has a 500 billion reserve. And the cost of to provide their services in 1 year is less than 100 billion. So their budget actually for expenditure is in the 260 billion, is in 100 and plus billion. So meron pa ring reserve. That's why I know na naabala ang tao because bakit natin binawasan? Dahil ang katotohanan dyan ay kung tignan ninyo, kaya binawi ng Department of Finance yung ilang reserve na naman doon na naiwan dahil hindi nagamit yun ng ilang taon. In other words, the PhilHealth has sufficient budget to do all of the things that they want to do. So let's go back the last 2 years. Kung titignan ninyo, ang services na binibigay, ang mga treatment na binabayaran ngayon ng PhilHealth ay nag-expand na ng gusto. We are taking care of many more conditions, many more. We have more dialysis treatments. We are attending to more people. That's from the budget of 2023 and 2024. So patuloy, pataas ng pataas. Pati yung pagbayad. Ang payments ngayon natin for cancer, for the other diseases, hundreds of percent ang increase doon sa dati. In other words, kaya ng PhilHealth pabayaran yan. And the reason why is that we do not want to subsidize it is because it is the subsidy will hook lang doon sa bank account ng PhilHealth, hindi magagamit. Marami tayong paggagamitan noon. So that's a simple explanation there. Is that they have sufficient funds to carry on. Because ang problema sa PhilHealth, ang problema ngayon sa PhilHealth, hindi tungkol sa pagbigay ng serbisyo, hindi sa pagbigay ng insurance cover. Hindi yan ang problema na kulang sila sa budget kaya hindi sila nakakapag-alaga ng tao. Kulang sila sa budget kaya maliit ang bayad. Hindi yan ang problema. Ang problema, kung titignan ninyo, you look at the reports that are happening, sa dami ng bagong services ng PhilHealth, sa dami ng mga bagong payment na binibigay ng PhilHealth, nababara ang sistema. You can see there are in the provinces, merong mga tao nag-aantay buong araw yung pilat 200 tao. Nag-aantay, magke-claim sila. Hindi naman mahirap. Pero that's what's happened in PhilHealth. Yun ang problema sa PhilHealth. The problem is the processing capacity. Kaya ang naging priority, ang naging isa sa pinakamalaking priority sa PhilHealth was to continue to provide services, to continue to provide insurance, is pag-digitalize na kayo. Patuloy kanila, that's where the effort is para lahat itong mga taong ito ma-process natin. Tuloy-tuloy naman, tuloy-tuloy.
And we are steadily progressing with our objectives. In fact, we are about to implement another 50% increase in coverage for most of our case rate packages. That means that this year, we will have implemented a total of 80% increase across the board for almost all of the all case rate packages. Let me speak with candor, Your Honors. I am conscious that the PhilHealth institution has become a source of frustration for our colleagues in the government, particularly the legislators who are anxious for the well-being of your constituents. Those last 6 years before I was appointed to PhilHealth were particularly difficult, as I understand. Leadership turnover, a new CEO almost every year, created instability and delayed much-needed reforms. Operational challenges were compounded by even more issues that undermined public trust. During the last administration, PhilHealth has faced intense scrutiny and many of its shortcomings were exposed. These challenges brought us to a critical juncture, a need for comprehensive reforms at the corporation to rebuild both the institution and public confidence in it. It was in this context that I was appointed under the leadership of our beloved President Ferdinand Marcos. The vision for Bagong Pilipinas has given a clear mandate to bring about a renewed PhilHealth, an organization that is efficient and responsive to the needs of its members. This is not just a slogan for us. It is the why and wherefore of everything we do today. Over the past 2 years, we have taken significant steps to address these long-standing issues. First, we strengthen governance mechanisms to ensure that funds are properly safeguarded and channeled where they are needed most. Second, we launched initiatives to improve benefit delivery. Third, we have embraced digitalization to streamline our processes, minimize fraud, and make services more accessible. Under my tenure as President and CEO, our introduction of new benefits and enhancements of existing ones have been unprecedented in both speed and number. We began by adjusting the existing case rates by 30% last February 14 to account for inflation, ending a 12-year managerial shortfall. This review and adjustment to the all case rates meant fairer payments for high-cost treatments, addressing inequities that burden both patients and healthcare providers. The all case rates is set to be increased yet again, as I said earlier, by another 50% before the year ends.
Tila kakaunti pa lang yung nasasabi ninyo tungkol dito sa issue ng pagbabalik ng pondo ng PhilHealth sa Bureau of Treasury. Ano ho? 90 billion ang gustong ipabalik. At nasa korte ngayon yung protesta ng ating mga ilang kababayan para pigilan ito. Ano ho ba sa tingin ninyo? Dapat bang ibalik ang pondong ito? Samantala,
Okay.
nagtalakay tayo na napakaraming issue at napakaraming mga suliranin na dapat yung tugunan.
Maganda na tanong mo yan at maganda nagkaroon akong pagkakataon ipaliwanag ito. Alam nyo, ang pondo na sinasabi nilang kinuha ay hindi po ninakaw, hindi po siya nanggaling sa members' contribution, hindi rin siya nanggaling sa reserve fund, hindi rin siya nanggaling sa investment money of PhilHealth na savings. Ito po ay nanggaling sa government appropriated government appropriated subsidy para sa mga mahihirap, mga senior citizen at mga PWD.
Okay.
Every year kasi ine-estimate ng PhilHealth kung ilan itong senior citizen, PWD at mahihirap. At ang premium niya, pambayad ito ng premium nitong tatlong sektor na to. At every year po, sobra ang hinihingi nila. Ang na-enroll nila, mas konti lagi by about 30 billion pesos. So ang tawag dito, hindi ito savings. Ito ay government appropriated na hindi na program. Kasi hiningi mo yung pera, hindi mo siya ginamit for its intended use. Hindi naman siya intended to pay for the hospitals and PhilHealth benefits. Doon kinukuha yon doon sa premium. Pero doon sa hindi mo na-enroll, excess funds yon, hindi mo pwedeng tawagin savings. For many years, ginagamit ng PhilHealth na tawag dyan savings at dinideposito niya sa treasury bonds na nagbabayad na naman ng Department of Finance ng treasury ng interest na inuutang din ulit nila para ibayad yung malaking interest.
Iikot.
Sinabi ng DOF, parang mali yan . Kasi ang government, pagka meron ka hiningin pera at hindi mo siya nagamit for the purpose you said you will use it, ang dapat dyan, ibalik mo.
Correct.
Sobra. That is, lahat kaming ahensya, ganyan, binabalik. So ngayon, dito sa 2024 law, na ipasok yan na sabi, pwedeng gamitin yung mga unprogrammed appropriations, itong pera na ibinigay sa GOCs na hindi mo nagamit, ay pwede mong kunin ang DOF at gamitin sa ibang programa na kailangan. So nung nilabas yan, may 89.9, 3 taon lang yan. They just got 3 years, yung term ni BBM ang kinuha ng DOF. So yung sobrang appropriations for 3 consecutive years, sabi niya, balik mo yan at gagamitin namin sa iba. At siyempre ako at walang umupos dito nung ipinaliwanag ito, ang ginawa ng DOF magaling . Tinanong muna ang DOJ kung legal yon. Tinanong niya ang COA kung legal yon. Tinanong ang GOCC, tinanong ang OGCC. At nung ipresenta sa board, kasi ang board of PhilHealth ang di-decide, wala namang kumontra. So na-approve yan. Ngayon, ang ni-request ko sa DOF, Secretary Recto, magagalit sa atin yung mga health advocate kasi sigurado ko gamitin natin sa health din. Sabi niya, oo, health for health. So yung first 20 billion, ginamit natin para sa health emergency allowance. Kasi may 27.4 billion pa . So, naibalik na rin itong August 21 yata, yung another 10. So, wala na kaming utang. Well, hindi pa nabibigay sa lahat ng health worker, but ang promise namin by October, bayad na lahat ng health worker na nagsilbi during the COVID. Now, the others, ilalagay yan sa other projects of the President. May mga cancer center na binibuild sa Philippine Lung Center na meron tayong mga multi-specialty hospital na binibuild sa Clark and other health projects. And of course, hindi lahat sa health. Meron ding bibigyan ng tulay, kalye. Pero alam mo, Malu, if you ask me, yung tulay ng isang isla, papunta sa isang isla, health-related din yun. Kasi yung nanay na dapat magpa-cesarean, alam mo, namamatay yun kasi wala namang bangka sa gabi. Pag natayuan mo ng tulay yun, tricycle na lang yun, makakapunta ka dun sa hospital na may cesarean section, buhay siya. Yun normally, namamatay, dinudugo. So to me, I would rather see funds of the government used for actual projects na magbe-benefit ang Filipino people than keeping it in the bank, earning interest na tinatanong ko sila, kailan gagamitin yan?
We have enhanced the Z benefit package to include improved coverage for breast cancer. It is now up to 1.4 million from a low of 100,000. Post-kidney transplantation procedures and deceased organ donors. Hemodialysis sessions have been increased from 90 to 144 and most recently to 156 sessions, providing payments of up to 1 million pesos per patient annually to provide more comprehensive support to patients with chronic kidney disease. Rationalized case rates have been introduced for critical conditions such as bronchial asthma, bacterial sepsis of newborns, ischemic heart disease with myocardial infarction, ST elevation myocardial infarction, and severe dengue. We also enhanced packages for acute myocardial infarction, bypass surgeries, and heart procedures, alongside upcoming coverage for emergency care and optometric services. Of the top 10 high burden and mostly claimed health conditions that we have prioritized for rationalizations, we have so far completed enhancements of 7 packages with increases ranging from 1 to even more than 200%. We also released implementing guidelines for the rates adjustment of the inpatient benefits package for COVID-19. For children under 5 years old, we have rolled out outpatient therapeutic care services for severe acute malnutrition, demonstrating our commitment to holistic care. We've also included critical benefits like mental health services, select outpatient services, and expanded access to maternal and child health programs, thus ensuring care across all life stages. We have also added preventive oral health services under the Consulta program and assistive mobility devices for those requiring rehabilitation. Recently, we introduced a package for rare diseases we called Z Miracles, which is a new package for 10 rare diseases. We enhanced packages for acute myocardial infarction, bypass surgeries, and heart procedures, alongside upcoming coverage for emergency care and optometric services. Just yesterday, another set of enhancements was approved by the PhilHealth Board. Very soon, we will be able to provide coverage for emergency care, optometric services, and heart surgeries. We will also be increasing coverage for heart procedures, including bypass surgeries, to ensure that critical cardiac needs are addressed. We have also enhanced benefits for cataract surgery and lens implantation. We are also now finalizing the guidelines for the enhanced packages for acute myocardial infarction on heart attacks, peritoneal dialysis, and kidney transplants. Soon, we will publish the circulars for these packages for the benefit of our providers and members. Additionally, the removal of the single period of confinement policy ensures greater accessibility to services. All of these reforms underscore PhilHealth's utmost dedication to addressing the evolving healthcare requirements of our members. These significant benefit expansions mark a substantial stride towards our commitment to providing affordable, accessible, and quality healthcare for all Filipinos. Never before has the corporation implemented such extensive enhancements in a year. This is such a banner year for your PhilHealth, and we thank all of our fellow health advocates for bringing all of this fruition.
Alright. Okay.
Ang dami. So,
Yes. Okay. Secretary, mukhang wala naman ho yatang talagang issue na yung mga pondong hindi nagamit, ibalik sa Treasury, yun yung kalakaran at yun yung batas. Pero dalawang bagay ho. Isa, sabi nila, iba naman yung kalusugan, yung right to health. Yung ibang GOCCs, baka pwedeng magbalik dahil hindi naman sila ganoon ka-fundamental.
for your information, mas malaki ang kinuha sa Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation.
Okay.
250 billion. Ito yung
Correct.
pera na binibigay ng national government na subsidiya para sa mga bank accounts natin in case magka-bank run or bank disaster, insured yung mga deposito natin. wala namang background for good management. So sabi nila, kunin na namin yan, gamitin namin. So mas
Correct.
malaki yun, 253
Oo.
times as
Opo.
much as the 89.
Ang sabi nila, yung mga ganon, hindi naman kasi ganoon ka-fundamental o ka-basic na karapatan, right to health. Ano po? Yun yung isang sabi nila na kakaiba yung PhilHealth na pondong ipababalik. Pangalawa, nabanggit nyo nga ho, dapat ito ay yung government subsidy para dun sa mga indirect members. Ano ho? Yun yung mga indigents, 4Ps, PWDs, elderly. Ang sabi ho nila, ang problema yata sa PhilHealth yung support value, maliit pa rin. At
Yes.
yung
Oh.
absorptive capacity palpak pa rin. Parang ba't naman hindi nila
No,
nagastos?
actually,
Hinihingi nila.
tama ka. Hindi yung premium ang problema kasi yung premium ang sinasubsidize ng national government.
Correct.
Pero yung support value, pag meron ka ng pooled money, yun yung
Correct.
binayad na premium, yun dapat mo kunin yung subsidiya for healthcare. And
Correct.
tama kayo, nabababaan ako. In fact,
Baba.
Department of Health may utang na about 15 billion ang PhilHealth sa DOH hospitals. Ang laki nun. 15 billion yung
Kahit
tinatawag.
kayo, hindi na babayaran.
Oo. Sabi ko, binayaran nyo na lang sana ako ng 15 billion kaysa kinuha ng DOF yung pera for other
Oh, ano
projects.
sabi nila?
To me, it's all about efficiency.
Correct.
Ang board ng PhilHealth, sinabi niya, kuha kayo ng kuha ng sobrang pera. Pero yung dapat yung pinopondohan, yung members' health benefits, hindi nyo napopondohan. Tapos
Correct.
ipon kayo ng ipon sa bangko. That is of no use in the bank because you are a pay-as-you-go insurance.
Okay.
Dapat bayaran natin yung health benefits ng mga membro at taasan pa. Kung may pera pala kayo,
Correct.
ang billion, dapat ibayad yan para tumaas pa ang health benefits. So it's more about policing them also. Yun yung other side of this. Kaya kinuha ng PhilHealth yan. Parang ng DOF. Kasi sabi niya, umutang kami para ibigay yung subsidy hiningi nyo. Tapos, nung sobra pala, idiniposito nyo uli sa treasury basket. Umutang uli kami. Tayo din na nagbabayad ng utang. And
Okay.
yung clamor ng ating health sector, agree ako doon. Dapat taasan talaga ang benefits. And
Correct.
dapat maging efficient siya. Ibayad mo kaagad. Hindi kukunin ng DOF yan. Huwag mo ilagay sa bangko. Ibayad mo doon sa mga utang niyo sa ospital, utang sa health workers, utang sa doktor, utang sa government hospitals.
Ngayon, nabanggit ninyo, yung kung sakaling may pondo pa lang ganyan, dapat sana napalawak yung coverage. Na-interview namin si Dr. Ish. Sabi kung ganun, parang bakit di ba yung emergency care? Kung pag-uusapan natin yung mga indigents o seniors o PWD o yung mga 4Ps, di ba ang level 1 ng kanilang entry sa hospital, emergency or acute cases usually. Di ba dati na dapat covered na yung emergency case?
Alam mo, Malu, emergency doctor ako eh. Yun ang
Tapos,
sama ng loob ko. 4 na dekada ako emergency doctor.
Correct.
Kahit minsan, hindi ako nakakita ng coverage for ambulance and for
Correct.
emergency care. Laging hospitalization. So ang feeling ko nga, if gusto talaga natin ng universal healthcare, isa sa unang pondohan ay emergency package. Dapat may package tayo na emergency na member of PhilHealth at na ambulansya na emergency na PhilHealth. Biro mo, ang package nga nila nakakatawa eh. Pag natingnan ka sa isang ospital, nanganganak ka at sabi dun sa ospital, ay, kailangan ko kay cesarean, lipat tayo dun sa ibang ospital. Alam mo ba, dun sa second hospital, hindi ka na pwedeng gumamit ng PhilHealth. Kasi ginamit mo na raw dun sa unang ospital.
Okay.
And then, wala pang sagot yung ambulansya mo. So ang feeling ko, teka muna, mali ang ating benefits. So I'm now chairing the Benefits Committee of PhilHealth. Sini-chair ko talaga. Isa sa tutok ko to. I just want to make sure ang Pilipino pag na-emergency, sana man lang sagot na ng PhilHealth. At least 50% or 60%. Pero yung current support value ng PhilHealth is at 30 eh.
Correct.
30.
Baba
Mababa siya. 70% out of pocket.
Karamihan.
Galing sa bulsa mo pa rin or ngayon naghihingi sila abuloy sa mga other groups.
Di ba yung emergency care nasa batas na talagang dapat kung may universal healthcare law na tayo, covered na?
Correct. Yan nga ang dapat kung nagtatanong ko, 30-year-old company na ang PhilHealth and up to this day, parang kailangan makumpine ka para mabayaran yung emergency mo. Kung ikaw ginamot lang sa emergency room at pinauwi, walang PhilHealth reimbursement yung ospital.
Yung sustainability issue daw nila, so tinanong namin, ano ba yung actuarial ninyo na projections? Ilan yung mga ngailangan ng anong klaseng? Kasi may 39 packages daw po ba ang PhilHealth? Kaso mga pera ito na parang ibibigay sa'yo pag na-confine ka. Pero nung nagkausap kami ni Dr. Ish, sabi ko parang, yung out-of-pocket expense, abot pa rin sa
70, 60, 70%.
70%.
Correct.
At ang hindi kasama doon ay halimbawa yung mga doktor, yung kanilang
Professional fee.
professional, yun yung mga ilang lab test na
Correct.
wala dun sa ospital mong pinuntahan, kailangan sa iba ka magpapa-lab test. Ayun yung mga minsan talagang gamot na wala sa formulary. Mga kailangan gamot ho ito, lalo na sa mga talagang
Kaya
private.
yung ginamot na sila ng formulary drug, ba't mo i-reseta uli yun? Hindi nga
Correct.
sila gumagaling doon. So i-reseta mo yung mas panibagong gamot. At
Correct.
nakakasama nga ng loob kasi mga esperto sila, mga presidente pa ng mga specialty societies. Kinokosyon sila ng mga abogado sa PhilHealth na, "Uy, ba't ka gumamit ng gamot yan?" Teka muna, sila yung doktor eh. Sila yung may alam kung anong gamot ang gumaling ba yung pasyente. Yung tanong, gumaling naman pala. Tama siguro yung nireseta ng doktor. Bakit
Pero
ikaw
wala.
magdidikta?
Hindi
So,
i-reimburse ng PhilHealth.
major ang reforms na kailangan ng PhilHealth. But it's a pity kasi nga, a single payer system like PhilHealth is supposed to be very good. In fact, hindi totoo yung sinasabi ni Ish na baka maubos yung pera nila. Kahit nataasan mo ang benefits niyan at maubos yung funding mo, it is a pay-as-you-go insurance. Ano ba ang pay-as-you-go insurance?
Oo.
Yung insurance ng kotse mo, malu. Pag hindi ka nabangga, wala na yung pera mong yun.
Correct.
Di ba? Magbabayad ka na naman ng another 30 to 50,000 the following year para covered pa rin yung kotse mo in case mabangga. Ganyan ang PhilHealth. Ang PhilHealth will never lose money. Kaya huwag kayong maniwala sa taga-PhilHealth na sinasabing baka maubos pera. Hindi ako naniniwala doon sapagkat
Tama.
pag naubos ang pera, ang gobyerno ang magpopondo ng PhilHealth. Dadagdagan lang namin ang subsidiya. At
Correct.
laging merong taong may trabaho na nagko-contribute. Paano masisiro yung budget niyan? It
Correct.
just requires good management. Matagal ko nang pinababago ito and you have heard me say, hindi mauubos ang pera ng PhilHealth. Sapagkat gusto kong, ewan ko, hindi ako actuarial. Pero kung pinipresent sa akin dyan, Sir, mauubos ho kasi by 2028. Sabi ko, ha? 2028 pa mauubos yung pera? Ba't di natin ubusin this year, 2024? Para madaming benefits. So
Kasi
iba yung
tuloy-tuloy
pananaw
naman
ng mga
yung-
nagpapatakbo ng PhilHealth sa pananaw
Correct.
ko at pananaw ng ibang ekonomista. And ang
Alright.
feeling ko, kailangan maayos, madaming kailangan ayusin sa PhilHealth sa pagpapatakbo nito sapagkat ito ang susi ng ating universal health coverage.